We were planning on just driving along the Forgotten World Highway, which is turning, and we want to drive only halfway through to the Tangarakau Gorge, specifically the Tangarakau village or town or whatever is left there, because it's dubbed as Ghost Town in New Zealand.
Today, before we do our massive drive on the Forgotten World Highway, we're going to do a drive to Owhango Lagoon. This has been recommended to us by Paul at the Forgotten World Adventures Motel.
So Paul asked us to find the 2 orange arrows. There is one here, and then the other one is over there. Now, he said to follow the track up to the lagoon. But did you say to go left or to go right, Laura?
It was either left or right. We walked through the forest, maybe for just about 5 to 10 minutes, and through the trees we all of a sudden see the reflection of the trees down below us, and it's really trippy because it's dark water and it's just a clear reflection. And it looks like the trees are right there under our feet, which is strange. But no, that is the lagoon,
which is basically split in half by a small boardwalk. So we stand in the middle, and you see the perfect reflection of all the forest and the mountain and the sky on the lagoon. And really the forest is pretty majestic. It's those kind of really untouched forests. You can really tell that there is about 10 people ever hiking there. It's just when they walk their dog, and it's about the 10 house around. There is no one else going. So everything is covered in moss, and no one has ever stepped outside of the footpath, which is perfect.
We do a bit more of the walk into the forest, and there's like bits of plants growing on bark and things, and it's all pretty amazing.
Everything is gorgeous. There's just a few birds to make a little bit of noise, and that's pretty much it, nothing else. Pretty amazing. We keep on hiking, all the way. It's kind of a loop, and we'll hike all the way back and get back to the camper van.
And that is the start of the Forgotten World Highway. And we've also been warned by the locals that we should fill up the camper van with gas before we set off, because the entire Forgotten World Highway doesn't have a gas station. So yeah, once we're into the Forgotten World, we are on our own. It's crazy how much the weather changes. So we had a really amazing sunny day at the Owhango Lagoon this morning, but then as soon as we start the Forgotten World Highway, a mist just comes in, and all we see is, well, the fences beside us on the roadside and just white mist. And it's all very like, ooh, ah, atmospheric. We're nowhere near the ghost town yet, but we can feel the essence of the ghost town around us.
So along the Forgotten World Highway, we stopped quite a lot to take a few pictures. We even hit a traditional New Zealand traffic jam, which is basically a massive flock of sheep running towards you, and well, you don't have a choice to stop the car because there are more of them than there are of you.
There's like a whole flock on the road, they look like they've just been freshly sheared. We have to sort of just stop the camper van and just watch them all go by, take some photos because it's hilarious. They all pass by and make their way up the road, and then we continue on our journey to the top of the mountains. And once we get over that sort of first peak, the sun comes out from nowhere all over again, and it's a totally different day on this other side of the mountain we've just been climbing up.
You are going to a forgotten world, and they named it very well. As soon as we start driving, civilization just ends. You see a few fences here and there, you see a few sheep here and there, but you don't see any house, you don't see any lights, you don't see any other car. I mean, literally, for the entire time we were driving, which was about 4 hours, we saw 2 other cars. So don't have an accident there either, because there is no one coming to help you.
We then reach a section of gravel road which is 12 kilometers long, and still bearing in mind this is a national state highway and it is a gravel road. And not only is it a gravel road, it is a gravel road full of potholes. It looks, yeah, again, long forgotten. There's pothole after pothole, we're bouncing up and down, rocking from side to side on the Forgotten World National State Highway. It's pretty hilarious, but despite the road being crazy, actually this is all within the Tangarakau Gorge, which is a huge, well, obviously a gorge, which has huge steep sides of forest, and there's a river on one side of us and a sheer cliff face on the other side, covered in all sorts of moss and little waterfalls, and it, like, obviously it looks bloody fantastic.
And then we arrive at something called the Moki Tunnel. It's a one-way tunnel, it's very narrow, and it's not a tunnel, it's a cave, it's a hobbit hole. So I'm moving with this camper van like really carefully, because I really feel like it's gonna be bong 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 on both sides of the tunnel. There's a lot of potholes in it, because I guess it's much harder to maintain the road. No part of the road is maintained, so there's no excuse.
So we've been driving through the Forgotten World Highway for the last 3 hours, mostly gravel roads. It was a bit painful and was very slow. Instead of taking an hour, it took us 3. And now we took a turn to Ghost Town. It's about 16 kilometers down.
There's a big rusty sign saying Ghost Town. We kind of think, oh well, it's New Zealand. It's safe, right? Right?
So we are in Ghost Town, Bushland camp and accommodation. We are going to
Get murdered.
maybe this is Ghost Town. This car is still less rusted than mine.
Someone's done the washing. There is a door knob, like a knocker.
I thought the washing machine just started. It scared me.
There's only about 3 houses in this whole town, so hopefully one of these houses has Simon and Sarah in it. But as we're driving down, I guess we're easy to spot in our massive camper van. Simon is like waving at us. He quickly introduces us to his family, which involves 5 kids, 2 dogs, 2 kids as in baby goats, and a cat, and a wife. And then he's like, right, let's go in the Gator, which is like a 4x4 farm vehicle in New Zealand. They're called Gators. We'll drive up the mountain and we'll get some really cool views of volcanoes from up there. We're like, okay.
We pass the first gate and then we start speeding through the fields. Mud, no mud, valley, gullies, all of that, just jumping on it, goats, sheep, cows, just everything, just move away from Simon, which is driving like a crazy madman, which is like a great way to introduce yourself. It's like, come with me, I'm gonna kill you in my natural roller coaster. And then he's turning again and he's literally taking on an entire mountain, and then we arrive on top of the ledge of the mountain. He's like going up and down and up and down, and the ledge is really literally the width of this Gator, like woo, 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 like Laura is in the back, like, you know, flying left and right and left and right, and I can hear like a big bound. That's her bum cheek on the plastic right here.
How's Laura feeling?
That was crazy. Yeah, so finally we're at the top, and that is the sound of good views. So we drive all the way back, just as crazy as it was on the way up there. And straight away, my ass is in tatters. I have the biggest bruise on my butt. And I have like I've been sleeping on my neck a bit funny these last couple of nights, but that's just made worse because now I've got whiplash.
They have some cheese for us, some beers. It's gonna be a good evening.
This is what I call life. Cheese, alcohol, and a cuddly dog.
Dinner is ready, and it is like all these, I guess, settlements in the middle of nowhere. They go and catch their own food. The dogs are very friendly. There's even one that's like called butter or something because it looks like its face is melting. Like butter. So yeah, we're just playing with the dogs and they're very, very adorable.
All right, so Paul told us to find the 2 oranges arrow.
Orange's arrow.
All right. So all right, so Logan asked us to find the 2. Ah!